Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure because today Wayne reads Tell Me a Mitzi. Always remember that as we go through these amazing adventures and read these outstanding stories, all you have to do is press the CC button in your YouTube link in order to follow along with the words. Now I think that North Star will be perfect to join us for today's adventure. Now the North Star's here. Let's jump in. Tell me a Mitzi. Mitzi sneezes. Tell me a Mitzi, said Martha. Later I will, said her mother. Now I've got a headache. In a little while, Martha asked her mother. Mommy, now is it later? No, said her mother. It's still now. In a little while, Martha asked her mother if she had a headache. No, said her mother. Why? Tell me your Mitzi. Tell me a Mitzi, said Martha. Once upon a time, said her mother, there was a Mitzi and she had a mother. One morning, Mitzi sneezed, and her mother said, Mitzi, you've got a terrible cold. She took Mitzi's temperature and put her to bed and gave her 2 baby aspirin. And Mitzi said, Tell me a story. Later I will, said her mother. Now I've got to see what's the matter with Jacob. Jacob was sitting on the floor crying, and his mother picked him up and said, You feel hot, Jacob. She took his temperature and put him to bed and gave him a baby aspirin. Then she went out into the kitchen and brought Mitzi some orange juice in a glass and a bottle of orange juice for Jacob. Mitzi said, Now tell us a story. Her mother said, I've got to get you some lunch. Mitzi's mother went to the kitchen and made a bowl of soup for Mitzi and one for Jacob. And when she brought them in, Mitzi said, While we're having our lunch, tell us a story. I will, said her mother. Only, I've got to go and see who's at the front door. Mitzi's mother went to the door, and it was Mitzi's father. I've got a terrible cold, he said. I've got a cold too, said Mitzi's mother. I said it first, said Mitzi's father. I've got it worse, said Mitzi's mother. Where's the thermometer, asked Mitzi's father. He took his temperature and said, I'm going to bed. Get me an aspirin, please. Mitzi's mother got Mitzi's father some aspirin and brought him some glass of orange juice, and some for Mitzi, and some in a bottle for Jacob. Mitzi's father said he was hungry, so her mother went to the kitchen and made him a bowl of soup, and then she gave Mitzi and Jacob some baby aspirin, and Mitzi said, You said you would tell us a story. But Mitzi's mother said, I'm going to bed. Jacob and Mitzi and their father sat up in their beds and said, You can't. It's not your turn to be sick, said Mitzi's mother. Who would take our temperature, said Mitzi. And who gives us aspirin, said Jacob. And get us orange juice, said Mitzi's father. And make us soup, said Jacob. And tell us stories, said Mitzi. I've got to go and see who's at the door, Mitzi's mother said. Mitzi's mother went to the door and opened it, and it was Mitzi's grandma. She looked like Mitzi's mother and said, You've got a terrible cold. Where's the thermometer? Grandma took Mitzi's mother's temperature and put her to bed and gave her some aspirin. Then Grandma went to the kitchen and brought everyone some more orange juice. For a snack, she made them cinnamon toast and noodle soup for supper. She took their temperatures and gave them their aspirins and told them stories, and the next day they were all better. Only Grandma sneezed. They took her temperature and put her to bed. Mitzi's mother got the aspirin and brought her a bowl of nice hot soup. And Mitzi's father made some special cinnamon toast crunch. And Jacob took in the orange juice without spilling it. And Mitzi told her grandma a story she made up all by herself. Mitzi's grandma said it was the best cold she had ever had. Oh wow, that was a really beautiful tale of Mitzi and her family. What did you think, North Star? I like that part too. We'll see you in the next adventure, okay? And we'll see you in the next adventure, here with Wayne Reads. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.